Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're talking about how to create a business with recurring income. And I'm here with Graham Potts, who is a chartered accountant and our managing director at Wessex Commercial. Graham's got a background in industry and has had his own businesses, so he's a great person to help business owners in the Southwest. We will be taking questions as we go through today. So if you have something you'd like to ask us, pop it in the comments and we'll pick that up as we go along. So Graham, what are we covering in today's session?
Yeah, thanks, Linda, and welcome everybody. Well, three things, all to do with recurring income, surprisingly. Basically, the benefits, then the types, and then how to grow recurring income.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the benefits of recurring income from your perspective.
Well, the main benefit to me is predictability. If you've got recurring income, you know it's coming in, you can plan. So that helps with budgeting, forecasting, planning for future growth. It's also very attractive for business owners, but also for sort of other shareholders, investors, if ever you want to go to market to find a buyer, and also for lenders, because it's the certainty of future revenues.
Yeah.
It's easier to scale since there's a steady stream of revenue coming through. So that can be reinvested in the business. It can bring customer loyalty because it helps retain customers, because you're usually spreading the cost over a period of time, and they get sort of, if you keep it going well, they get obviously to like your service, and they will continue and they don't change. So usually you get better customer loyalty retention.
Yeah.
It's also, we all know when you acquire new customers, it can be expensive. Whereas if you've got a customer where you bring customer loyalty and they're carrying on and on and on, obviously there is risk associated. They could obviously come out, which we'll discuss in a minute. But what it means is that you don't have to spend so much per customer eventually to acquire them. So that can help increase profitability over time. And it's good for cash because you can plan where the cash is, etc., when it's coming in.
So obviously quite a number of benefits for a business, but what about from a customer perspective?
Well, customers, it's good as, we all know, it's certainty that it's easy. It's, you know what you're going to be spending out when you're spending it, and it can spread the cost. So from a customer point of view, rather than getting surprise bills or, one-off payments, if they can spread it over a, 6, 12, like annually, whatever it is, and they can see it coming through all the time, we're getting more into this type of where people want to know what their costs are, especially with younger generations coming through.
I talked my plumber into adopting a sort of recurring revenue model a while ago. It used to be we'd get one bill every, he'd come around every year and do the service, but we'd get one biggish bill. He split that up, and it just helps, it builds loyalty, and it also means that we know that we're top of his list when if things do go wrong and we need extra support through the year. So we've got them there to call on.
Yeah, and it helps because you don't have to, if it's on the if he's going to book another schedule in another service, and in a year's time, whatever the service maintenance is for you, or if it was for a business customer, might be more often. But what it means is you don't have to worry about it. It just carries on. So it's good for for the customer.
Yeah, and it's the same sort of mentality that you do need to adopt to a certain extent in your business. It's just much easier when you know month to month what's coming in, what's going out, and it's easier for small businesses as well.
It's easier all round. It's predictability. But businesses, it's hard. There's so much going on in the world nowadays, and everything's so hard. So if you can generate that time, it just makes things a lot easier.
So tell us a little bit more about the kinds of recurring revenue that people might be able to bring into their business.
Well, there's various types, and I'll try and give you some examples as well so you can understand. But you've got subscription-based model. Customers pay like a regular fee, usually monthly, can be quarterly or annually, but that's to receive an access to a product or service. Include examples of this could be subscription boxes, software as a service, such as Xero, what we advocate, membership-based services such as Netflix or Chamber of Commerce. Then you get the retainer-based model, where you see it mostly with like HR type services, and health and safety, where you pay so much per month and they look after your HR, health and safety. But some months you may not use them, some months you might use them a lot. So, but that you've got that access to that ongoing support.
Yeah. Is that how you would describe the Wessex model, Graham?
I'd say it's it's a little bit of each, really. Mostly subscription based, because we have regular services. Usually most of our clients, we provide this software like Xero, Dext, etc. But it's also a little bit of retainer based, because we have questions come in, but they're not all regular. So it's a mixture. But I say mostly substantial subscription based. And I would like to say that Wessex, we changed our model. We set up in 2009, and we were business advisors only. We weren't chartered accountants. Then we got into monthly quarterly accounts, and then we got into Xero, etc. Mainly because we were so reliant on government funding, because we're for grants for what was called Growth Accelerator. When they basically decided out of the blue to pull it, which government are totally entitled to, and they tend to, we lost 75% of our business within 3 months. So we had to find something. And after that, it was like, we can't carry on like that. So basically, because we were using Xero ourselves, and we got the different teams to support us, and then we provided all the chartered accountancy services as well. So we've gone through the change from, just doing it as a, sort of a one-off as and when, or just a project for a couple months, 3 months. We've gone to a subscription-based model.
Yeah. And it's given us more certainty, and I think it does that for our clients as well.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
Are there other than subscription and retainer-based models, are there other types of recurring income?
Yes, there are, such as consumption-based, where you've got customers paying for how much they use. I mean, we all know with utility bills, gas, electric, maybe cloud storage, pay-as-you-go mobile phones. You can have a tiered model, different types of pricing. So it's a little bit of what we discussed, but it can actually be, sort of tweaked a bit. So all of these that I'm talking about there could be a bit of this and a bit of that. Example of this sort of a tiered model would be, services like Sky that offer, you now have got, obviously the Sky, normal Sky, but you can have so many different, it does your head in a way, but you can have so many different services on the TV, let alone phone, broadband, etc. So they just add, and that's what you get with what's good with subscription-based model. These recurring income, you can add things. It's adding on things to customers. Then you can have affiliate model type earning income. Now that can be where you're part of a referral network. For instance, where businesses create a commission. So you could have sales when the customer pays the bill, a little percentage goes to someone else who recommended them. And I would say something like Utility Warehouse works on that basis. It has a network of sort of individuals that get generate the customers, and they get a very small percentage. And obviously if that carries on forever, and if they get enough customers, that builds up and gives them a good pot at the end, that's recurring for without doing a lot of work in the future.
So if those are the different types of recurring revenue models, what strategies should people put in place to grow their recurring income in their business?
Well, first of all, I'd say it's obviously you've got to identify the need and what the customer wants on an ongoing basis. I mean, just talking about Wessex, we knew that like businesses didn't like surprises.
Yeah.
So that's where we saw there was a niche there to go for a fixed price model.
Yeah.
There you develop that model, to make sure that it works and it fits into what we've already discussed. And then you obviously have to market it. You can look at, you might have existing customers that might want this, or might have to go to new customers, but you'll need targeting marketing efforts because you'll have to identify exactly who your customer is. Some people call it avatars, but it's a profile of the customer, so you know where to market, where the best chance of marketing it is. So you build that customer base up, and you may have to give, you'll have to give probably discounts for long-term commitments. You may have to give guarantees, sort of like give them, a couple months, 3 months to try it, and if not, come out. You establish your pricing to make sure it's fair to not only customers but to you, because you've got to make sure you're going to earn money out of it. Because obviously, and also you've got the cash base to do it, because sometimes the services might be provided early or late.
Yes.
So if you look at a whole year, you might be doing the work month 1, month 12, through all the months, but you're spreading it for your customer. So you've got to make sure it works for you. Consider offering different pricing tiers or packages to cater for different customer needs. Like with us, we've got different services, depends on, the volumes that they want to go, what they actually want, the services they need, etc., etc. Make it easy for customers to buy. That is a key one. You think of Amazon, how easy it is to go on there and buy, and also have the ability to add on products. Oh, so and so had this, so and so had this, so you can sell, sort of upsell.
Yes.
And set up, processes, systems, things like recurring invoices. Our invoices on Wessex are recurring. So once we set it up, it just goes. Then think about how to get the money in. Is it direct debit? Is it repeating card payments? For Wessex, we basically use Go Cardless. We do it by direct debit. It pulls the money in, does the bookkeeping for us. So you've got to think about all those things. It's going to make it easy for not only for your customer, but for you.
Yeah. And it's from my point of view, the payment side of things has largely eliminated the credit control activities we used to have to do. It's been a time saver for us and for customers.
It is, and it is, and so it helps a hell of a lot. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but are there any risks associated with operating a recurring revenue service, Graham?
I suppose the main risks are, one, that you get the pricing wrong. We played about of our pricing to start with. You don't know. So sometimes, you don't know the volumes that's going to come through as a business. So you could get the pricing wrong, but that's where you have to keep on looking at it and making sure, you might have to change it. You'll find some customers that may not fit what you're after, and you have to talk to them to make sure that sometimes you might have to lose them. There's obviously cancellation. They may do the same to you. They may not want your services. So there's a risk there. But if you've got a long tie-in, that they may not want a long tie-in. So you might have you take a bit of a risk with, maybe a monthly or 3 monthly, sort of recurring or sort of rotating notice period. But you've got to look at where the market's going. Car market, used to be you buy or HP, then it was finance lease, then it, with a balloon payment. Now the car, you've got some of the companies like Volvo, for instance, are offering electric vehicle subscription with all-inclusive one fixed month payment. Basically it's saying no up front, and basically you've got 3 months notice to cancel, so you've got to have it for at least 3 months. And these models are coming in more and more because people want this. That's what they want, because they want the easy planning. And
I think it's a model that younger buyers really understand, and
it is. They've been brought up with it. They've been brought up with this, so it's just that little bit of like spreading, a little bit here, and then the business gets you in there. And then you're there for a long time until you get fed up with the service, or you think that it's costing too much and you'll shop around.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking about the move that I made from, well, I didn't really even move from CDs, but to Spotify a couple of years ago. Yeah. And we've got so many things now on subscription, and but it does make sense for businesses as well to buy on that basis if they, in some areas.
Yeah.
Are there any other? So cancellation is one of the risks, Graham. Are there any other risks that business owners should consider?
Well, I also mentioned pricing. So regular price reviews, see what, you need to know how much you need systems so that you can actually look and see how much you're making on this.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you've got regular price reviews, make sure it's in your terms and conditions, because you don't want the value to be eroded. Yeah. But some pricing you might get, it may be too high, maybe too low. You have to try it, trial it. You main thing is focus on customers are satisfied with the solution, with this level of service. Because obviously that builds customer loyalty, and if anybody sort of in today's sort of world, it's quite easy to if you've got more Google reviews or better Google reviews, so we say, it includes the likelihood of other people coming to you, other customers, and you're going to get that recurring income coming through. You need to always continuously look at improve the solution and level of service provided. You've got to make sure they're happy with it, because obviously times are changing. So it may be that you have to go with the new times, or maybe something else you've got to add in or change. So you've got to make sure you adapt your service or product. You've got to, you must have easy mechanism for feedback and reviews, and ask for feedback and reviews, etc. And, you can consider incentives, referral agreements, discount codes, or whatever.
Yeah. So if business owners are looking to increase recurring income in their business, what should they do now?
Well, follow what I just said. This video will be out eventually, give us a bit of time, but it'll come out, and then you can go through it again. I'll talk to me, chat, which will come back in a minute. But the main thing is to look where you think what your customer wants. What's the opportunity? Examine your business, talk to your people, talk to your customers, talk to suppliers, talk to, other people, in your network. Find out exactly what's working, what's not. Where's the market going for you in your business? And then when you got it, it's like, get on with it, as we've gone through before. So basically and I would suggest starting small, just trial it in different areas, test the model, test your pricing, test your people, test your systems, test the incentives and marketing, because it may take time to take off. It may go quickly. You've got to make sure you've got the right resource against it. So you don't set something up and it's priced so low that actually you're overwhelmed, or it's priced too low and actually get no one involved. So it's constant thinking and changing. I
think you're right. It does take a little bit of time to build that model up, just by its nature. You're, in terms of the income that's coming into the business, it's just kind of dripping through, as opposed to coming through in spikes in the way that you maybe have been used to. So it should smooth those, but it does take a little bit of time to build up that model.
It does, yes.
So if you are ready to create a more sustainable business with recurring income, we're offering a free one-to-one conversation with Graham. Pop an email over to chatwithgraham@wessex.commercial.com, and we'll set that up for you. And next month, June, we are back with a session asking how scheduling impacts profits in your maintenance or service business. So if you're working in that sector, then join us on Monday, the 5th of June at 12:30 p.m. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.
And good luck. Thank you.